Every year, Starbucks brews its way through roughly 800 million pounds of coffee across its 40,000 global stores. The physical journey of that coffee is straightforward. It starts on farms across Latin America, Africa, and Asia, where millions of green, unroasted beans are harvested. Those physical beans are then loaded onto cargo ships and sent directly to massive roasting facilities in the United States, China, and the Netherlands. But if you trace the money paying for those beans, it takes a completely different path. On paper, virtually every single bean Starbucks uses is bought and sold by a subsidiary located in Switzerland, a landlocked country that physically processes none of this coffee. Switzerland holds fewer than 60 actual Starbucks cafes, yet a corporate entity registered there, called Starbucks Coffee Trading Company, acts as the financial epicenter of the global coffee giant. Detouring billions of dollars through a ledger in an Alpine tax haven creates a massive disconnect between the company's profits and the physical reality of its supply chain. The Swiss trading company acts as a middleman, buying beans from farmers and selling them to Starbucks roasting facilities. The European Commission found the Swiss markup was a modest 3% until 2010. In 2011, it spiked to 18%. As a result, the Swiss subsidiary's profits quadrupled. When regulators asked why the price jumped so drastically, Starbucks pointed to the implementation of their CAFE practices program, a set of ethical sourcing and sustainability standards for their farmers. To justify the price hike, Starbucks classified this ethical sourcing program as intellectual property, or IP. By treating these supplier rules as an intangible asset owned by the Swiss branch, they could charge their own roasters massively inflated prices. Classifying the program this way legally transformed a corporate social responsibility initiative into a mechanism for generating tax-advantaged profit in Switzerland. The Commission found the CAFE practices program cost less than 1% of the green beans, yet roasters paid an 18% markup. These inflated prices lower taxable profits in consumer countries, while the extra margin piles up in Switzerland. The incentive for moving all this money is the Swiss tax regime. Trading profits negotiated through special cantonal tax rulings are subject to exceptionally low local tax rates. The 18% markup is mathematically divorced from the actual costs of buying and certifying coffee. Its primary function is to siphon taxable profits out of the consumer countries, where the drinks are actually brewed and sold. Following the European Commission's investigation, Swiss financial secrecy laws largely hid the trading company's internal profits from public view. This ledger maps the subsequent paper trail of dividend payments out of the Swiss subsidiary. It shows the money passing through holding companies in the Netherlands and eventually moving into the UK. Researchers estimate this specific chain quietly moved around $1.3 billion over a single decade. Instead of bringing that cash back to headquarters, Starbucks treats these foreign holding companies like an offshore piggy bank. By classifying these profits as undistributed earnings in their SEC filings, they keep the money out of the United States, allowing them to indefinitely defer paying federal and state income taxes. This multi-tieled dividend chain actively shields over $1 billion from taxation, depriving the countries where Starbucks operates of the revenue needed to fund public infrastructure. The impact hits the start of the supply chain first. This profit shifting extracts value out of the Latin American and African countries that actually grow the coffee, depriving them of corporate tax revenues. It also hits the end of the supply chain. The local communities and the workers, whose daily labor generates the actual retail sales, are similarly shortchanged when local tax payments are suppressed. The ultimate irony is Starbucks' primary defense. They justify this billion-dollar global tax dodge using the exact same CAFE practices program that they market to consumers as proof of their ethical corporate citizenship. While the physical coffee bean connects farmers to consumers in the real world, the paper supply chain exists solely to enrich the corporate ledger, undermining the exact ethical standards the company claims to champion.